You read the Friday facts?
I had a look at them.
I don't need to count.
Seems pretty brief.
Correct. Alright, category updated. Do this for 20 minutes, half hour, whatever happens to be, and then go back to killing soldiers. Sorry, I meant tactically taking over the thing.
Tactically advancing in the reverse direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just looking at clip compilations.
Of?
Well, the real question... I better close it, but, like... Who uses a bar mixer in a cake mix box?
What? Say again using different words in hopes that I understand.
Using a little handheld bar mixer.
Yep.
In a cake mix box.
In the cardboard box.
In the cardboard box.
Well... Inside the cardboard box is the plastic packaging that all the dry materials come in.
Yes.
And essentially all you have to do is add normally an egg and some milk. And then pour it into a tin to then put it in an oven. That is providing you want to cook it and it's not something like a cake mix that you're just going to eat raw. Because children will happily do that. And I've met many adults that could be clearly mistaken for a child many times. So...
This is the land of the TikTok world.
Just water these days for a lot of them? Oh, wow, okay.
Then again, do you know what? I think it's just all the stupid people, because they always used to exist. It's just that they all moved to TikTok now.
Because they could get views for stupid things when it was only 32 seconds
Doing
long.
these stupid things.
Yeah.
Where they used to get on... Where did they used to do it? Like Vine and...
Vine.
Somewhere before that, a lot of these used to come up, and I can't remember where now.
I only remember Vine.
I barely remember Vine. It was like relevant for like 6 weeks.
No, it turns out it was relevant for a lot longer.
Oh yeah, it existed for a long time, but it was only relevant for like 6 weeks.
Playthrough 2023 on Twitch in the first ever Twitch recap game. Okay!
What? Where?
Service temporarily unavailable. TwitchRecapGame.com. Okay!
I mean, just...
No, there was one I want to ask you about. No. Twitch sub token?
The fact that it doesn't even come up as a search result means it's probably a good thing that it gives you that error message.
Have you heard about these?
What is these? Subcodes.
Sub tokens! So subcodes are something they did very quickly for like 1 or 2 sponsored events, streams, whatever. Where if you bought a copy of the game, you could get a couple of codes you could redeem on Twitch to get a sub to the channel you are watching.
Ah.
But now they've upped it. Now you get a sub code which you can put in. Looks like a Steam key or anything else. And it gives you a sub token. So you can, I don't know, buy the latest Call of Duty and get 5 free Twitch subs.
Ah.
And then you can use them to sub to a channel. Or gift subs. You can gift sub with the token.
A unit of sub that you can...
It's a unit of sub, yes. Now, what's a unit of sub worth? Well, that's a very good question, Mojo.
Probably like $15.
For one sub?
For one token.
For one token? No, because then in theory, because Twitch splits everything 50-50, they'll give me $7.50. They give you $7.50.
No. What I mean is it costs whoever's buying them $15 or something, or $10 or
No,
something.
God, no. This is going to go to, like, you remember the first ever September, which was done by Subway.
Mm.
It'll be like that. It'll be like, tune in
Oh.
for Subfest and we'll give people sub tokens and blah blah blah. And it means that Subway is buying them way cheaper than $15. They're gonna be buying them for like $2 a piece because they're gonna be mass bulk.
It always reminds me of that the now banned guy that that used to physically go to Subway, buy those, and then hand the codes out to people because
Really?
there was no gift subbing.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that. Okay.
It was a long time ago.
Mm.
One of Clowntown's friends, quote unquote friends.
Yeah. I am currently subscribed and would like to purchase gift subscriptions instead of using my sub tokens. No, it's not possible. Your tokens will be used first. You have to use your tokens first. And what if I don't see the tokens I've redeemed and can't use them? Please reach out to Twitch Twitch help, because that's always works well. Yeah.
So if you have tokens, you're forced to use them. So you're forcefully removing the balance.
Yep. And animated emotes got doubled, I believe, is the other bit of news. Easy animate, manual mode, blah 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 blah. FAQ? No. Double the animated emote slots for both affiliates and partners. Partners also gain an extra 5 slots for both tier 2 and tier 3. So yeah, now you can have animated slots for animated emotes for only tier 2 and 3 subs. Jenny on a rant about Twitch again? No. It's just the Friday FX is going to be so short. I need to pre-fill it with somewhat not related to Factorio content for the pre and post Friday Facts content that goes up on the second channel, something like that. No, I want to know Mojo's opinion on the tokens because I only heard about them not from Twitch.
Of course not. You never learn it directly from them.
I learnt from it, but from a email. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, hang on. Let me find this email. Because I've got like 5 of them in the last 3 hours.
I think the thing that's really, really interesting out of all this is the fact that someone managed to overflow the game tick counter.
Are you really that shocked?
I mean, not really, no. I'm kind of amazed that it hasn't happened to one of my games. I'm kind of curious now.
Well, it was 100 and... It was 800 days.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's been a gap of 800 days between one update and the next. Until update 1.
Well, it doesn't matter because it's preserved through all... Like, if you pull a save forward through versions...
Yeah. But normally, eventually, when a new version comes out, eventually people upgrade.
Yes.
And eventually you stop playing the old version because you roll a new save because you're done. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be... What is that? 19,000...
Oh my god, where the fuck is this email?
I think I'm 1/19th of the way there.
Oh my god. The worst thing is I don't remember the person. Ah, there we go. Twitch news. Where is email? Cool. Twitch news. Bits pricing changed in many countries worldwide. This week we saw more changes. Bits prices increased in Australia. Did you know bits price went up?
I wasn't really paying attention, but of course it did.
It went up by 0.42%. So what does that roughly translate to? 50 cents?
Yes.
For 100 bits. 100 bits is normally worth $1, so half a cent. I'm trying to open anybody's... Twitch, you're being difficult. Any stream, you'll do. 100, no, get bits. 100 bits now cost me $2.40. It always cost $2.40. Didn't it? I think it went up if you're buying 10,000 bits. I think it went up by about $1. Yeah. Channel moderators now see incoming ad breaks. Yep, and can now snooze them. You can now see inside Twitch the Streamlabs Stream Elements alerts, not just Twitch alerts. Winter Drop Fest with a whole bunch of crap. Did you hear about the Chief Content Officer of Twitch left?
Nope. I heard about the South Korea thing.
Prior to that, Dan, what's his name? The CEO, I can't remember his name. He said something. And from memory, she was like, not put my foot in this one, I'm leaving. Oh yes, and Twitch really wants me to do a recap of the Game Awards for a chance to be featured on the front page. Oh, okay. Hackers claims to have confidential business data belonging to employees and clients from both blah, 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 blah. And Twitch uses that to process payouts. Okay, so hackers have Twitch payouts details. Oh, yeah, Tom Clancy, that's his name, was interviewed by the Sydney Morning Herald. I read this article. Very important article. Sydney Morning Herald. Yeah, massive in Australia. Like, I don't know, like the New York Times for Australia. The first half of it is Twitch. And then the second half of it is... Clancy holds a PhD in artificial intelligence from the University of Texas in Austin. And then the rest of it is about AI, because that's what they really wanted to find out. Yep. And Twitch has a self-promotion bot, spam bot, in partnership with Mountain Dew. So, yes, if you mention Mountain Dew on stream, you have a chance that Mountain Dew Gaming will post in your chat to be featured on the homepage of Twitch. Only if you live in US. Yeah. Oh, there's more details about the bot.
So, I found out how far through the tick count I am.
Yeah.
6.5%.
So nowhere near it. And this is the save. Is this the save that you've dragged through from version like 14?
From version 12, yes, since 2016.
Yeah, my point stands. And I think I closed all the tabs I wanted. Did I? I did. Cool. Yeah, that was my little bit of Twitch news. That Twitch is doing Twitch things. Twitch also pulled out of South Korea. Yeah, that was covered in the weeks before email. Twitch pulled out of South Korea because South Korea charges. So normally, an ISP charges or gets charged when they download data. So uploading is free. Okay? That's how every ISP works, except in South Korea, where they charge for you to send them data. They charge you. And then they charge again when they download the data, so they're double dipping.
Yes.
US and EU are really trying to implement that model, sadly, where they're going to double dip. They're going to charge for both the upload and the download. Well, I don't think it would work.
I believe the US, I imagine, wouldn't be surprised if they're already doing it. But EU doing it would be interesting. I wouldn't expect that.
Because how would you do it? Like, South Korea is so isolated, you could get away with it.
South Korea is also weird like that because, like, despite... well, I don't see it much now, but there used to be this whole thing about it being, free, open, internet was always fast, everything. But it was always kind of a corporate hellhole.
You were trying to push it through the courts. But, see, most people download things. Like, people download way more than they upload.
Yeah.
And that's how they get that's how they make the money, essentially. Are you going to charge...
Well, ISPs have always not been keen on people self-hosting anything.
Well, self-hosting technically for them would be free. Because you'd be uploading the data.
For anyone who's self-hosting stuff on their home internet, is basically getting free hosting.
But the ISPs... So then ISP B is downloading it from ISP A, and therefore ISP A is going to get paid.
Yeah.
And you're with ISP A hosting from home. So they've been against it because they're not meant to, and they don't want to overload their network, and they don't really want...
Yeah, it does load down their network.
Money from likes, Netflix, Facebook, Google to pay for ISP upgrades. Yeah, well... Charge your users more. If people are streaming more data, just do what they did in Australia. Bump the prices. Because that's exactly what they did. Here in Australia, the price went up by about $10 per month. So for most people, it's like 20% increase on the bill. And then on top of that, they capped down the top plans. So a lot of the top plans got reduced in speed, and they hadn't rolled out the bigger and better plans yet. And when the bigger and better plans came out with faster and faster internet, it is prohibitively more expensive to sign up for the faster plans. So, yeah. Yes, Australia downloads everything. Like, we don't have any massive hosting companies here.
Yeah, or the ones we do have all suck.
But nobody hosts a massive amount of data in Australia because the data centers cost so much. It costs so much to host in Australia. I am 100% sure that my YouTube videos, the original files are not hosted in Australia. I am 100% sure that when I upload them, they're getting moved to the US and processed in the US.
Very likely.
And then they're being syndicated.
Yeah, it propagates back through the network.
Yeah. And the original versions are not hosted, well, they're not kept in Australia at all. They're kept overseas. Even the Australian government for the COVID app that they tried to regulate that everybody had to install.
Oh, the very, very first one.
Yeah, even that was using AWS for hosting in the US.
Is that the horrible Bluetooth one?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the Bluetooth one that would communicate with everybody that you walked past by just putting out a Bluetooth ping, and therefore they could get your data for any Bluetooth devices you come in contact with in the period that you're probably contagious, and then notify all those people that they've probably or have had a chance of picking up COVID. And there goes the outbreak.
Yes. Because that's something that you want.
Sassy installed it. Because she was told it was mandatory by the news. I'm like, it's not mandatory. You don't have to do it. And I said...
Nobody did.
Oh no, lots of people did.
Maybe in Brunswick people did, but
Lots of people did, and
didn't that also drain the phone battery if I remember rightly?
oh,
Constantly pinging Bluetooth.
it definitely didn't help your phone battery. And then it didn't touch Wi-Fi. It only touched Bluetooth. And I think I went into the advanced device properties and removed permissions for it to touch Bluetooth. I think that was my solution for it. And that way you can say, yes, I have installed, dear officer, because you had cops. If you were caught during the lockdowns out and about, you had a reason to be out. So, being an essential worker.
Did you ever actually have anyone approach you about that?
Sassy did. I didn't, because I wasn't going anywhere. I was at home all the time.
See, I was out and about, never was approached by it. I did have the paperwork, but yeah, I was never confronted by anything.
Sassy did multiple times. Never had any paperwork, because I don't remember there being any paperwork.
It was a form you had to carry.
No, didn't have that. She just had to. She's a sexual worker because she was doing cleaning. And yeah, she had the app on her phone, but yeah, it just turned off Bluetooth. Just no accessing Bluetooth from itself. Yeah, and I remember complaints that wasn't open source, so nobody could see the source code, so nobody knew what the hell it was doing in the background.
Because of course that's the that magically makes everything better, is having the source code visible.
Less worse. Rebel's got a link.
Was it OpenSSH? How many years was the source visible? And it turns out it was never actually generating a different key, master key.
Was that the problem with it? I remember there being some fault with it that was not noticed for years. Same with people were running some sort of handshake open source that had been used for everything in the internet. Yeah.
There was one where it was never actually generating a random key, which is pretty fundamental.
To make online platforms, pay for document, blah, 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 blah. Release date. So they're just trying to find out. Okay, this is back in Feb. Okay. Increase volume data, infrastructure, decrease returns, appetite to invest in network structure. Payments from web companies.
Right, the part where the thing keeps stuttering.
What keeps stuttering?
The stream keeps stuttering.
Your end, not mine.
It's probably my end, yes.
Asking this work to deliver content for the amount of traffic demands it.
Hopefully the internet holds up. It's been pouring with rain.
Oh, I told you, we got like. Where's the phone? It was 31 degrees at 8:30 a.m. And my cold boiler drink that I put outside, that I took out of the fridge for 4 hours prior, was not cold. 34 and climbing. It wants data from providers and network upgrade cost price paid for network peering and transit service and more on figures. Forcing tech companies to make new payments would achieve a long-term goal for the telco industry.
Tech should pay for the network costs.
Network investment can only be sustainable if such big tech platforms also contribute fairly to network costs. In the US, Republican and member of Federal Communications argues that big tech companies get a free ride on networks built by ISPs. No, they provided services, and this is the reason why people are signing up to the ISPs. If you say you get free unlimited internet, but you get no Netflix, you watch your subscriber count drop. Problem solved.
Isn't that effectively the same as the US net neutrality thing?
What do you mean?
Or the opposite, as in.
I remember the net neutrality
that's what
thing.
The whole what net neutrality was to try to stop. Was exactly this thing happening?
Net neutrality was trying to stop it, and I can't remember. I think it failed. Just. Amazon, Apple, eBay, Google, Meta, and Twitter. Appears to accept that the false
Because
fair
they already pay for their connection through their data center.
Yeah.
They're not the carrier.
Yeah, they're making it available on the internet, and the ISPs are now complaining, hey, our users want to use your service, so we want you to pay us so our users can use your service on our network.
Yeah, that is literally the anti-net neutrality argument.
Yeah.
They are just a provider of data. They shouldn't care where the data comes from and who it comes from.
Proposed the idea of requiring payments for online services. July 2020. I tried for decades to require compensation for content providers providing access to customers, despite the fact that telco companies are being paid by their own customers to provide access. Yeah. Double, triple dipping.
Basically, what you say is giving like a terabit to every customer. I say terabit, and then saying unlimited data for like €10 a month, and then wondering why they're losing money.
Well, yeah, the
network's saturated.
Yeah, their speeds are incredibly fast and incredibly cheap compared to what we pay.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, our prices go up. ADSL to NBN was price comparable. Yeah, there was no real decrease in price whatsoever. There was just an increase in speed, and for the extra speed, you paid extra money. Even though
service quality overall.
Yeah, no, because I'm still running through copper through the last mile.
Yeah, they are. But
so
it's,
it wasn't much better.
VDSL now.
It wasn't much better. It was slightly better, slightly higher uptime. Not a vast difference. But yes, yeah, prices are going up.
I like how you see the.
In my country, for €10, I have a 1 gigabit connection. That explains the whole problem right there. How you doing?
That is the problem.
€10. €10.
It's like $20. $20 dudes.
$16. 16 Australian dollary dudes.
Oh, hang on.
I pay €70 for 100 by 40. High quality internet there. High quality. 100 by 40.
1.6. That's the conversion factor, or 0.61. It used to be in the 0.5s. I mean, both are terrible.
We haven't been 0.5 for a long time. I'm looking the other way around, but yeah. At one stage, €1 bought almost 2 Australian dollary dues back in 2020.
Yes.
When life went to hell. I paid $90 for 600 by 100.
That'd be about 160. I think. Maybe
90. So $90 is 140-ish. And I think we would pay about the same, roughly.
3 streamers, good God.
We have 3 people that stream in the house, though. Wow. Yeah, 100 might be pushing it with 3 of you.
6, 12, 18. Not the worst. If it's 10 megabit, 10, 20, 30.
Yeah, but that's providing nothing has a hiccup. €26 for 1 gigabit here. Yeah, see, my point stands. Yeah.
Squids, that's England.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. But my point stands. The problem with the EU internet is that you're not charging the customers enough. If you charge the customers twice as much, you can afford all the upgrades you wanted. The catch is they wouldn't put in any upgrades, and that's probably the biggest thing. That if they
same problem everywhere, is they won't put in the upgrades.
If they push through this thing so they could charge charge the data providers, so Google, Netflix, Facebook, blah 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 blah, they could charge them money so they can upgrade the infrastructure. They'd be like, oh, we're going to put 100% of that money towards the infrastructure upgrades. But the 30% that we were taking from the customers and putting in infrastructure, we're now putting 0 of that towards upgrades, and we put that in our pockets instead, because the shareholders will appreciate that. Yep. All right.
I should also say that I nearly said pounds for Ireland as well. Nearly.
Okay.
I hope Stinson isn't around.
No, he's not here. He's safe. All right. What are we at? 6 hours in the stream. All right, you good?
Close enough.
Okay. Almost there. There we go. Alright. G'day, mate, and welcome to Friday Facts number 388. Smaller things for 2.0, and I have my great small friend with me. How you doing, Mojo?
Small? Hello.
Yeah, I know exactly your height. Anyway, we're moving on. The devs have shown us some of the bigger things recently for Factorio 2.0 DLC / extension / version 1.2. So they're now calling it 2.0. Just for the record, they're now calling it 2.0.
Yeah, well, it's officially been, I think for a while now they've been calling it 2.0.
No, it's been Factorio 1.2. I'm pretty sure this is the first time they've said Factorio 2.0.
Pretty sure it's been said before. It might have been Combinators 2.0. It was one of the previous FFF.
Yeah, but that's an internal thing. Yep. Because this means that they've ruined Factorio 2, for the record. We could never have a Factorio 2. Just like you could never have a Windows 99.
Well, technically it's Factorio version 2.
Or a Windows 9 either, because, you know, they'd used the version 9 already in 95 and 98. Yeah, there's never going to be Factorio 2. This is the takeaway from this Friday Facts.
Going back to Factorio Facts 373, they do state version 2.0 is not just about the expansion.
Ah, fine.
Examples of the things that will be in the 2.0 update are the ability to control train systems better blueprint building, better flying robot behavior, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, fine.
I win.
Fine. All right. So, billions of years worth of Factorio. We'd also thought having a normal 32-bit unsigned integer to track number of ticks passed would be enough for anyone. You'd have 60 ticks per second, which makes 2.2 years of continuous playing on a single save game. But Factorio is a game about automation, so it was inevitable that somebody would leave their factory running in the background and eventually overflow the tick counter. This would obviously not do. And, yeah, somebody overflowed it.
Yep, it was bound to happen.
Back in version 1.187. Yep.
I did check what my version 12 save was at.
For the record, for those that aren't here for the Friday Facts that we do on Twitch, this is your version 12 save that you've dragged through multi-versions that
Every
now
version since 2016.
Sits in version 1.0 of Factorio.
Yes.
Oh my god, poor save file. Yep.
It's at 277,874,566, which is 6.5% of the 32-bit integer.
Yes. So they got a bug report that Factorio crashes at an exact time, and the mod they happen to be running is Time Tools, which tells you how many days in-game has passed. And it has the total save time file there, which is, what's that? 19,000 hours worth of playtime. Yeah. Did you actually play for 28.5 real-world days? Or did you enable don't auto-pause and leave it running on a server whilst you're ignoring it? Both. Both is the answer. I'm not surprised. Yeah. That's a lot of time playing Factorio, even by my standards.
Oh, yeah. It is still 2 continuous years.
Yep. Yep. Well, that's providing you don't, hit the multiply button and run the game faster. Technically you could do that. You could just cram the game up to like 8 times speed and get there in 100 days. Just saying. possible.
It's possible.
So yes, boss can already identify the usage of the tick type and encapsulate a class and semi-prepared it for a change in the underlying type meant that moving to a 64-bit unsigned integer wasn't painful as maybe you can imagine. To the new theoretical limit on the save file is 9.7 billion years.
Should be enough for everyone.
Probably. Change relatively straightforward on the gaming side, but it presents some issues with the modding API. Factorio uses Lua 5.2, which has a single number type implemented as a double precision floating point number double. As the value for floating point number grows larger, level of detail in that type is able to contain decreases. The maximum integer value a double can represent with full accuracy is 2.37 million years worth of ticks.
So out of the 2 to the 64, only 2 to the 52 is what it can hold.
Out of the 9.7 billion years, they can only keep the game accurate and not have a desync up to 2.37 billion years worth of ticks. Yeah,
Yes.
So they're going with that. Which means hopefully they're not going to be around when bug reports start rolling in. Yeah.
So that means that you only get 2 to the 12 of Mansada in that double, which isn't a lot.
I have no idea what that means in English.
So a floating point, or a double, which is a double the size of a floating point, it has 2 components, the exponent and the Mansada. I think it's called Mansada. And the exponent is the integer component, and then the fraction is the Mansada.
Okay, comment section. I hope somebody's correcting Mojo right now. Okay.
Probably.
Logistic request enabled tweak related to recovering corpse. We have this feature when you respawn after dying, your personal request is disabled to avoid being resupplied with stuff before finding a corpse. Annoying problem is, which happened to us many times, that we forgot to re-enable the request after recovering the corpse. I had to figure out what was going on, and why we aren't supplied with stuff. Since everything annoying needs to be automated, we of course had to fix it. So now when you recover your corpse, the setting you had before dying is reinstated unless you've changed it in the meantime, which now means that when I die multiple times during my multiplayer playthroughs with chat helping me, firing nuclear weapons at me, I don't have to remember to tick that box anymore.
Yes.
As I die roughly 50 to 100 times during an 8-hour stream, I very much appreciate this feature. Yeah.
It's a lovely little quality of life thing for everyone who has everyone who has the pain of integration being enabled.
That's all right. We've upped integration now. Now when a player dies, you don't have to recover your corpse. Your corpse will come to you as a zombie.
So if you beat the zombie, then you get your corpse back, all your items back.
Yeah, the zombie's wearing armor. It hasn't learned how to fire a gun yet, but that's in the pipeline.
That's coming. That's in the next update, isn't it?
Yeah. So and you get a funny line that tells you exactly where your corpse is. Yeah. So you know exactly where your corpse is, and the line does move because your corpse is now moving around.
Does that mean if it's your own zombie corpse and you're carrying nukes, and then it comes after you, and then uses your own weapons against you, it will start firing nukes back at you?
Yeah, that is going to be the implemented change. Yeah.
Or if you had a flamethrower, so you basically have a walking flamethrower turret.
Yeah, it doesn't attack biters, but it does attack your guns, and your guns don't shoot back because it looks like an engineer. Okay.
That'll be hilarious.
It has been hilarious. Yep. Especially when you get yourself in a situation where you die repeatedly, or you're spawn camped by biters, because then you spawn camped by biters with zombies as well. It's a great combination. Yep. So smart number format, and I'm pretty sure after playing a lot of Captain Ministry, I'm pretty sure this comes like from there. So oftentimes you want to set some sort of constant number, like I want 7.5 stacks here, and doing the calculation manually is of course unacceptable. So we made it so you could type mathematical expression directly in the text fields. So we have a constant of 1 million divided by 2 plus 5 being 7 gives you 142,000 light oil. I don't think a tank will fit quite that much. But it's cool that we can type them in now.
Oh yeah, and even typing in the K and the M and so on its own is really convenient.
Oh yeah. Rather having to hit 0 3 times.
Yes.
Or 6 times. Yep.
Or moving the slider and all that.
Yeah. So this is a cool little update. I like the fact that we can do the maths and it's literally just type in the numbers, and you don't have to put an equals or anything silly at the front. You can just type it in, and it'll just, okay, that's a mathematical function. I'll work it out for you. Yeah, that's a cool little feature. I really, really like this. So yeah, it was basically a one-line change. So we already had the code to face math expressions to define the infinite technology cost. We just need to find some sort of constants. K for 1,000, M for 1 million. I wonder if B for billion, or they've gone with G for billion.
That is a good question.
Yeah, because there's G on ore. So I'm assuming they've gone with G?
Probably, yeah.
I would assume so. It doesn't really come up in infinite research that often, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've generally found that numbers over about 20 to 40 million things start to get weird and misbehave.
In Factorio or just in life?
Factorio, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was just wondering how much you had to make it count. All right. So then we have the max range indicator. It's the classic underground belt micro. That you need to go past the max distance to verify yourself you're placing the underground in the optimal place. Counted 4 is easy, but higher belts being in more complicated numbers, 6 and 8, it's hard to train the visual institution. No. The visual. Oh, God. It's not going to work. Yeah, the visual on
Intuition.
That's the word. On how far they reached. Solutions so simple and nice. We wondered how we ever live without it. When the underground connection is at max distance, we've reached perfection. So now the yellow lines get changed over to green if you reach the max. But I have to say, Mojo, you've played an hour or two with a Factorio, right?
Yeah, 1 or 2.
You know exactly how long a red belt is, visually, by just putting it down. You don't have to count the tiles, do you?
On clear ground, yeah, you can generally spot it.
Define not clear grounds.
So in a tangled web of a base, when you're trying to really squeeze something in and trying to work around, it's completely surrounded in other random length belts.
Then you're probably not going for max length anyway, let's be honest. You're probably just like, is there a free tile somewhere that I can use?
Yeah, but as I say, sometimes it could, once it's a little visually cluttered, it gets a little hard to judge.
Look, 4 is fine, 6 is fine, 8 is fine. I do admit that underground pipe at 10...
Yeah, underground pipe is difficult.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to really judge against.
Correct. 10 is enough of a distance that I don't have a visual cue on where 1 is to get to 10. But yeah, I've never had an issue with yellow belt, red belts, or blue belt. You got to remember, all belts used to be 4. So, yes. It's yellow belt, or yellow belt and a half, or 2 yellow belts. That's really the maths we're talking about.
There's also a pistol on the floor.
Yeah, we don't question random pistols on the floor. They're a feature.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we get this pretty green line. And I've already said it. And I'd really like it if... I know it's a problem. And I know if we went back to step 1, we could probably fix it. But they've made the dash lines green. And...
Yes.
The problem is that's fine. That's a good visual cue. But you're obviously looking at where your mouse is, not where the color of the line is. So it would be better if the other end of the underground changed to something to indicate that, like, you've reached the perfect distance. And the logical color would be green. The problem is it's already green to start with. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe if all undergrounds, when you put down the second half, they were normally blue, like ghost-like. That sort of blue for the new blue that we've got coming in update 1.2, 2.0 DLC expansion. And then when you place them, that at the right distance, that have this green color that we're looking at now. The problem is, I'm pretty sure if you pick up an assembler, it's already green when you go to put it down, because it's green because it has a valid position, rather than red when it doesn't have a valid position. So you'd have to go through all the Factorio to have a standardized blue for everything, and then you'd have be free to use green for like the undergrounds to make sure they're the right distance, which would make this process better, much better. But you have to go through and redo a whole lot of old stuff, which would not be nearly as good, not be nearly as neat either, especially for those that have been playing Factorio for quite some time. And you can't use red, you can't use yellow, you couldn't really use blue either. So, yeah. I don't know, rant. It's a great feature.
And over.
Yeah, it's a great feature. It's nice. It's just the fact that the visual indication is not where the mouse is, it's behind the mouse.
I think I was trying to think of, or trying to look up the one downside, and I think it's protan color blindness, where you can't see green properly.
Yes, and there is a significant amount of Factorio players that are colorblind, but
yes,
in a lot of cases, they have actually no. Actually, up until now, they haven't done anything about color blindness. It's all been mods.
No, it's you got to rely on mods for things like the circuit wires.
Yeah. I wonder if that's the future Friday Facts.
Potentially.
Yeah.
See if it in the pipeline.
Maybe we're just delaying the whole release because we're mentioning important things like this that they probably should have considered in the 3 years development up until this point. Okay. Chat tag improvements. Strange Pen spent some time improving the features of the custom chat tags. We now have the ability to quickly drag them around, copy them using the pip-out key binding, and put them down even when zoomed in so you can get that perfect alignment. I am really glad. Oh, wow. Zoomed in. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. But yeah, I am really, really glad that we have the ability to move them outright and also copy and paste them.
I feel like in one of the later pre-release updates, they lost a lot of functionality because you used to be able to do, maybe not so much move them around, but I feel like they had more. You just click on the map and place them, or double click on the map, I think it was, and place them.
Yeah, they removed that, so now you have to click on the add tag button to actually add tags to the map, whereas previous to that, it was a double click. I have no idea how many people are going to be zooming in to get the green science in exactly the location they want green science according to zoomed in map view. That seems
seems a little overkill.
Just a tiny bit
for one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as much overkill as having someone litter the map with tags describing the quantity of every ore patch.
There's a mod to do that now. Because it became so many people loved it, and I'm like, why? It's either the color you want, or it's the color you don't want. If it's the color you want, put miners on it. If it's the color you don't want, ignore it.
Well, if it's numbers greater than 0, start mining it. If it's less than 0, or equal to or less than 0, stop mining it.
Pretty much.
Move them to 1, which is greater than 0.
Pretty much.
It's better use of your time than tagging it.
Pretty much. Yep. I haven't seen a reason to tag them either, but yeah, it happens. So yeah, I don't know. I the tags used to be very helpful, and I remember using them an awful lot when we didn't have fancy text or anything else. They were literally a double clicking you type stuff. And now it just seems like they're a little bit of a pain in the butt to set up, so we don't use them that much.
I still use them, but I've always only ever used them for keeping track of where particular production is made. So a tag one collection of buildings.
Hey, Mojo, you know you can press the button on the map view and it tells you the recipes of all the buildings that you're looking at on map view. So if they all look like low density structures, chances are the whole build is low density structures. Just pointing it out.
It's more for keeping track, so I can make a note of and keep track of how much it's supposed to make.
Oh, rather how much it actually makes.
Yeah, so it's like low density structures, and then it's like 750,000 or something.
And then Mojo wonders why it never makes 750,000, and the answer is Mojo designed it. All right, continuing on. So safe sorting.
or I forgot to build half of it, which is usually
the case. Yeah, or add 3 trains that you forgot to add. Yeah. So safe sorting. Quite an obvious goal as well. We now show the last time modified in the load save game dialogue, and have the button to switch between alphabetical and most recent, which is super important actually. As somebody who
kind of useful.
Well, as somebody who I have multiple installs, so 9 times out I don't care. But if I'm going to my Steam install, which is just full of garbage, honestly, it has so many saves from so many different series and random multiplayer maps and temporary saves that I've made for this or that. Trying to find the right one on the list is impossible. So it normally involves opening Explorer, going to the Factorio saves folder, finding the save I want by sorting by date to then go back into Factorio and then say, I want this letter and scrolling to that point because I have no idea what it was called because it's saved by date. And I probably made the save a week ago or 3 weeks ago, or it's been moved from a server from 4 months ago. Yeah. So sort by date. Very, very helpful. Now I'm sure somebody's going to request, can we have a sort by playtime?
Of course.
Well, that's another important factor, isn't it? Like,
Yes.
sort by playtime of my saves. You know, especially those who keep just one save from each of playthrough they've done. They don't want to go digging through them. All right? You know, we have Vulcanus hairspray. Why does Vulcanus have hairspray? And why is Factorio done diagonally? And why is that one blurred out? So many questions.
Do you know, that actually feels like it's blurred out to the point where you could unblur it. Use one of those unblur things.
The comment section. Or Twitch chat can get working on that right now. We'll see what happens. Yes.
Well, with going back to the point at hand, the Vulcananus, I mean, maybe
hairspray? Yep.
Maybe just seeing what happens if you take a can of hairspray or a shipment of hairspray to Vulcananus.
And throw it in the volcano? Yeah, good things. I bet it's good things. And all the biters come out with just the best do. I also love that there's a save saying it's working. That implies there's an earlier save that says it's not working. Manual lamp colors. Highly requested feature for a very, very long time. As we have an RGB table for, well, in-game, but you had to hook up a circuit wire. Actually, no, trains have an RGB. Yeah, but the lights didn't.
Players have an RGB, trains have an RGB.
Stations
have an RGB.
Stations
have an RGB.
Yeah, but the lights didn't.
No A, though, even though there is an A factor.
Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, now lamps have RGB, which means you don't have to set up a combinator to just get a single color. Which now means you've been warned that when you get random blueprints off the internet, I hope they are full of real unicorn vomit RGB lights through every single build.
Oh yeah.
Yep, you've been warned. Naturally also allows for many colors not possible with current circuit network, so I'll have to see what people do with that. Probably nothing good. Okay, so we get colors of robots on the map. It can happen from time to time. Some of your poor construction bots get left behind and forgotten. They quickly run out of electricity, and their low energy, slow motors often too little to ever catch up to you. Such a sad fate. This is when we added more colors to the robot map visualization. The green ones are your personal robots. You can relatively easily find their less souls this way. I disagree. There are lots of colors for other situations, such as logistics, whilst delivering to you construction bots of spiders and other players. So, Mojo, I've had a chance to pre-look at this. I doubt you have. Yeah. Name the colors of the robots and tell me what they do.
So, we got green ones, which traditionally was your personal ones.
Yep. Stop. Ones. Hang on. Is that currently in Factorio?
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
There is a collection of white ones and yellow ones, which, again, currently is construction and logistic.
Yep.
And then we have some red ones, which is either, presumably, is enemy ones.
No.
Because all red shows up as enemy, even though it's the wrong shade of red.
They have to be killed no matter what. They are logistics bots delivering to the player.
Delivering to, not taking from.
Well, personal logistics. Let's go with personal logistics. They are personal logistics of some way, shape, and form. Whereas yellow is construction, white is logistics, and green, yes, are your personal robots. The catch is this is a fairly small bus. Let's be honest. There's
it's adorable.
Well, I'm looking at the top of the line, and the third assembly along is 3 machines tall, maybe 4.
I mean, there could be maximum quality.
They could be, but it doesn't change the size of the build, which also doesn't change the size or the length of the bus, which then tells you straight away is not a very big base. So you're not searching for your robots halfway across the map, because let's be honest, if you ran from an outpost back or trained or whatever and left your bots somewhere floating around without power, you might not see them for a couple of hours if you're, actually playing the game and building things and doing things. So the fact that they're green helps, but they might be lost somewhere 1,000 tiles away. They're green, but you're still not going to find them.
Before this feature was added, I had personal bots that were lost for 2 or 3 years.
Because you kept just training past them?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the way that version 12 base works is absolutely giant lake in the middle of the map, and it takes them like hours to slowly trundle across it.
The best way to solve this problem is just request Logibots, construction bots, and take your armor off and put it in your inventory and then put it straight back on. Solves the problem, because the robots that were lost out in the network somewhere or were lost and on the way back to you just join the closest network. Problem solved. Solves the problem.
I forget why that didn't work at the time.
Probably because you didn't do it. Or you had specific networks that had no room to park extra bots. So, like, you had a robot
Possibly,
with 350 Logi in it, and it's full.
It was also sort of before the network full warning was a thing.
Oh, yeah, we got a warning for that now. It's been haven't hit that one in a long time. Actually, is it only a warning for nowhere to put things?
Oh, it's storage capacity. But
yeah, not for robots that have nowhere to park.
Robots as well.
So yeah.
Anyway,
we've got red bots now. They're the ones to either shoot or maybe they're delivering us your stuff. Supposedly there's going to be different colors for different players, but do you actually care if a robot's flying past and it belongs to another player or a spider? I think my answer is no.
No, not really.
Yeah. So
it's also interesting how far the green, allegedly your own bots, are flying away from presumably what are Clonan's bots.
They're coming back, I think.
Or they could be coming back, yes.
Yeah, I think he's
still
gone
a long way away
for a bit of a run, and he's a lot faster than them because they've got no battery power, and we're talking like vanilla bots, not some sort of modded bots where, when you got full legs, etc., they can actually keep up with you. We're talking vanilla bots. Vanilla bots are pretty slow.
Give them worker robot speed 20, and you'll have a hard time outrunning them.
Yeah, you have a point. But it's one of the devs. We already covered earlier that they complained because they died too much. Do you really think that they've got to work a robot 20? Yeah.
Maybe not in this specific save.
Yeah.
You also can't rule out that he has maximum quality roboports as well. Within
his personal things. Yeah. Well, then why does he not have maximum quality construction robots for that increased charge time, increased battery capacity? Yeah.
That too, yes.
Yep. So smarter deconstruction planner and force building. Cliff explosives are not unlocked at the start of the game, and with expansion, they're even more delayed. To avoid non-statistical markers for cliffs for deconstruction, when you force build on top of them, we change it so cliffs are only marked for deconstruction once the cliff explosives have been researched. I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't mind it because, like in previous versions of the game, it's sort of not as much of a thing now. Before you unlock blueprints, stuff is just destroyed. It doesn't re-ghost itself.
Yes.
So it's more consistent in that regard.
Yeah, but by the same token, if I'm playing the game and I know cliff explosives exist and I want to mark the cliffs for going away because they're in my way, and I realize that when I get cliff explosives researched and built, like the first 50 are going to be taken off by robots. They're going to go do things with them. And I'm not going to see a cliff explosive till like the 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever, because I've marked out whole sections of cliffs that I want gone. I want them gone. All right? And I don't mind that I don't get cliff explosives for a little while personally because, well, there are ones in and around the base where the robots can reach that I want gone. Hence, why I mark them with decon planner, because I want them gone. And now I can't mark them with decon planner. So, I don't know how I feel about this. Especially if you are a player that plays with a lot of blueprints and you slam down a build on top of a cliff structure, and then you manually have to build undergrounds or something to account for the cliff, in the middle of your build that drags itself forward mostly on the fact that, it doesn't work because it's missing part of the build due to these cliffs. It means that when you get the cliff explosives, it's not going to be auto research. You're not going to come back and go, why is there a gap in the middle of this build? Oh, that's right, because there was a cliff there. You're going to come back and still see there's a cliff there.
The real question is, are you really playing the game if you're just pasting down an entire package base?
Yeah, lots of people play like that. I'm not here to agree or disagree with how you should be playing with it. But that's how people play, okay? Lots of people, they get the game, they learn a little bit, they find out there are blueprints, they go off to the interwebs, they download whole bases in books, and they paste them down, and they play Lego, okay? That's if people want to play Lego, that's up to them. Play logistical Lego. It's not for me to judge.
It's because there is no right way to play an open world sandbox.
Yeah, there is. Launch a rocket.
I mean, even that's optional.
No, that brings up the I win screen.
No, I suppose, yeah. Eventually, if you want to win, you got to launch a rocket.
Yeah, it brings up the I win screen. So that is the only way to play. The only right way to play is to launch a rocket. Now it's going to involve a few more steps between launching the first rocket and what is the new end-game situation? It's no longer launching a rocket. It's building a spaceship. It's building a spaceship to get the hell out of there. Must be.
Or like a final research.
For bigger and better rocket engines to go faster.
Or build a rocket defense.
Oh, God. We finally get art for the rocket defense. Yep. Okay. So, yeah, we now have cliff explosive. Well, cliffs are going to be ignored when you're using Decon Planner. Also, will be ignored when you use the Super Force building option. And it won't try and place landfill unless you have it unlocked. So, sure. But as an experienced player, just like we have the command, if you ever do a reinstall of Factorio, you find out that you have no, it's not toolbar, it's the shortcut bar. You have no shortcut bar, you have no blueprints, you don't have a blueprint book. The hotkeys still work, but the physical GUI is missing, and there's a command that you have to type in to re-unlock all that stuff, or launch a rocket. I really hope the same applies here, where I can just unlock these things, because I don't want every new game we play, especially when we're doing community maps, we'll play from start game to the equivalent of launching a rocket in 8-10 hours, because the rest of the mod content comes after that. If people are marking the cliffs for deconstruction, they want them gone. Either now or soon to now, or not too soon in the future. So yeah.
If you can get was it uranium on Volcanalysis?
No.
Nukes can also destroy cliffs.
No, uranium's still on Narvis.
So you at least get uranium.
Yeah, but you need yellow science to do nuclear weapons. And when do you get yellow science?
Presumably Planet 2 or 3.
Well, Planet 2 or 3 has new sciences, not necessarily the old sciences. So that's the thing. You're going to get to blue science. You can either stay on the home world and continue with the current sciences. Some things might be, like nuclear weapons, might be locked behind yellow science and melon science. Maybe. But
it's actually not really specified, because it's the first 3 sciences to get to off-world.
Uh-huh.
And then you got the Vulcan science, the melon science, and the passion fruit science.
Uh-huh.
And then I don't know where productivity and utility science fit into that.
I imagine they still fit in on Narvis. I imagine. But I do imagine there are some things that have been moved into the new sciences as well. And nuclear weapons, I would definitely say, or I would definitely guesstimate, is being moved into one of the new sciences as well.
Probably needs at least 2 of them.
1, 2, doesn't really matter. You're gonna have to go and unlock a new planet to get nuclear weapons. And cliff explosives, I imagine, will be before that in the grand list of things. They're not on Vulcananus, they're on after Vulcananus. Oh.
Do we actually get a confirmation that it would be on one of the planets?
Cliff explosives? I don't know. I'm actually not sure. I know launching to a new planet is confirmed as coming before cliff explosives. So whether you need to go to a new planet to unlock something to get cliff explosives, or whether you can stay on the hollow planet and keep researching to get cliff explosives, but already have the option to go to a different planet, I'm not sure.
Well, you only need currently you only need coal and sulfuric acid to make cliff explosives, and because there's sulfuric acid and steel, but that's basic stuff.
Yep.
Because you have sulfuric acid
but yep.
and sulfur on Vulcanus,
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it's part of unlocking cliff explosives as part of that.
Pretty sure they mentioned it wasn't going to be. Pretty sure they mentioned that it will be later, so you're not going to get them on that planet, so you have to deal with them. Or you're going to unlock them late in that planet.
It's probably late in that planet, I imagine.
Maybe you need to go back to Narvis and get more stuff from Narvis. So maybe you need some orange science to get some Narvis stuff done to then unlock cliff explosives to then come back and blow up all the damn cliffs.
Because the really rough terrain of Vulcanus, because it has a lot of cliffs.
Oh, it has a lot of cliffs.
So I imagine conquering that planet is blowing up all those cliffs.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be. Here's my first ship, 500 cliff explosives, and they're all gone. Can I get a reshipment, please? So yeah,
just decon planet the entire map.
Yeah, pretty much. But that brings us to the list of small things for 2.0, 1.2, DLC expansion. Yep. I don't think there's anything else apart from when do we get cliff explosives. Yep, that's it.
Yep, that is it.
Okay, all right, that's it. We're out. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed, and we will see you in next week's Friday Facts with trains, right? Trains.
Or more Vulcaninus, or
No. Trains pathfinding, ordering. Trains
changing color.
Yeah, trains changing color. No. Trains pathfinding. Trains. The train schedule. That's the words I'm looking for. Train schedule. Early Christmas present. Please, devs. All right, that's it. We're out. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Bye.
Bye.
All right, and I forget. I don't have to stop hitting record. Cool. Done. Yeah. Attacker Bear's got it with 1. This will be a short Friday Facts. Yeah, right. Bad mojo.
Wasn't me.
It was totally you. Scale of Summit. How you doing, mate? Welcome. Sorry, doing Friday Facts with Mojo. All right. Did anybody decode the classified scrubbed message in here?
Oh, we completely forgot about the flipped chemical plants.
Huh?
In the load save screen, the sorting saves.
Uh-huh.
If you look at the graphic.
Uh-huh. The chemical plants.
You can see something taking water, and you can see that they're flipped.
Yeah.
Each second one's flipped.
Yeah. It's also in the first one, the smart number format.
Yeah, it's sort of visible, but it's not as obvious.
And that's making orange liquid. That's got to be light oil. Yeah, it'd be light oil.
That's light oil. So it's something making. Oh, it's heavy oil to light oil. You can actually see the heavy oil going in, which is a lot of heavy oil. That must be called liquefaction.
Yeah, sure. Heavy going to light. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember seeing it earlier. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do that, and yeah, it's gone. Yep.
I should have written notes.
Yeah. Mojo should be here at 4 a.m. and that way we can experience together and write notes together, and that way still forget to put them in the Friday Facts. But yes. And why is your save called Pump the Lube?
Because you need to pump the lube.
That's a problem. A number gif. Yep. Are you drunk today? No, not today, King. This is just normal Australian. Why? What's up? When was the last time I was drunk? I don't think I've ever been drunk on stream. Ever.
Ever?
No, I don't get drunk to start with. It requires an awful lot. consequently, I don't drink because it costs an awful lot.
Yes, it's expensive. It's basically it is basically the way to separate you from money.
No, there are lots of ways to separate you from money, but when you are somebody who doesn't get drunk easily, therefore you need to drink an awful lot to get drunk, you pass. Pass. When Sassy can get drunk on $30 and it takes me close to 100 worth of just the booze, forget any mixes or anything else to go with it, yeah, pass. Pass. Yeah, okay, flip chemical plants.
There's also this whole thing about getting drunk on stream isn't really that entertaining.
Just need stronger alcohol. I only drink spirits. I'm a spiritual person. Odd crazy stuff. I am a spiritual person. Okay.
Other spiritual.
I don't drink wine. I don't drink beer, and I especially don't drink light beer. Light beer is for those who enjoy the act of pissing.
And have no taste buds.
Taste is subjective, but light beer is for those that enjoy going to the bathroom. That's what they're really all about. That's why they chose to drink. That's why they're drinking light beer. It's because they don't want to get drunk and they just want to urinate as often as possible in an effort to try and get drunk. Yep. I hate beer, so do I.
Beers taste like arse.
And Sassy has a yeast intolerance, so she won't drink beer. But yeah, okay. So flip chemical plants. I have a feeling that maybe the devs have played just a tiny bit of Captain Mystery.
Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
It wouldn't surprise me either. I know that a number of them played Dyson Sphere when it came out. A number of them streamed Dyson Sphere when it came out. But yeah, flipped buildings is something Captain Mystery just added, and it was like, yes, it makes life so much easier. And
of course, in fact, it might be one of those things next week, and it'll be all those, oh yeah, never thought to do this thing, and then it's another one of those, oh, we can't live without it.
Yeah, it will be. I guarantee it.
It was always that.
Yeah. It's why do we never do it?
Because they played it on another game.
Yeah. And now it makes sense to do it. Yeah.
Something they got from Satisfactory. I forget what it was. There was something came from Satisfactory when they played it.
It wasn't Lizard Doggo.
No.
No idea.
I don't really remember. I know there was something that came from Satisfactory because it did it differently, and it did it better.
Power wires? Wasn't it deleting fluids?
Possibly.
Oh, how we can click on a pipe and say delete all the fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came from Satisfactory because Satisfactory has the flush this section or flush the whole network option, whereas Factorio just has flush the network.
Or flash the
flash the entity you're looking at or the whole network. Yep.
Or everything, yeah.
Yep. Whereas Satisfactory has flush this pipe being this section of pipe. Yep. So if you had
more or less the same thing.
Well, no, because if you had a long stretch of undergrounds, it would just flush that stretch of undergrounds. Alright.
Or in Satisfactory.
In Satisfactory, if you had a pipe going from a tank to a tank, and it would be 15 pipe segments, if you say flush this segment, it's going to flush everything between that tank and that tank.
Okay. That seems like it doesn't really do anything.
Well, in Factorio, between this tank and that tank could be 100 pieces of an individual pipe. So you could potentially have to flush 10 pieces worth of individual pipe if you wanted to flush it.
I mean, Factorio, if you flush it, just that segment, the two tanks will just redistribute back in again, so it doesn't actually do anything.
Factorio, Satisfactory gives you the option of flushing a liquid between two segments. So if you wanted to test how it would test whether a system was bottlenecked with, say, like water, right, and by just deleting a little bit to see if it tops back up, then you can do that in Satisfactory by just flushing one segment, right? Mainly in Satisfactory.
Oh yeah, that's great because it's got the whole pressure thing going on.
Yeah, in Satisfactory it's mainly for the head pressure scenario. In Factorio there's no such thing. You could flush a tank.
Doesn't need to.
Or you could flush a pipe segment, It's when you connect the wrong pipes. Oh, yeah. In Factorio, it's for connecting wrong pipes. So if you see heavy oil on your lube pipe as well, like one of these two doesn't need to be here, delete. And you just delete everything.
Delete everything.
Yeah. But then you find out that they're still crossed over, even after you deleted the cross link, and all your lube disappears. You're like, oh, oops.
Even though lube is technically just heavy oil plus productivity.
Plus time, yeah. Yeah, but when you got a tank full of 25k lube and you're about to start making blue belt, it disappears real fast. Real fast.
You really shouldn't have lube bottled up. It should be going somewhere.
No, I have a buffer tank for when I first turn on blue belt. So it can take the whole playthrough, building up, filling up slowly over time. And, I'll use it for...
Sounds like you're not building enough.
I use it for robots and other things. But then once blue belt's up and running, tank's empty.
Still sounds like you're not building enough. I mean, 2 machines is actually a lot on its own.
I've got 4.
1's not enough. 2's usually enough.
I've got 4. I'm sticking to 4.
If it's multiplayer, 4, yeah, it makes more sense.
No, single player.
Okay, yeah. That's a lot of blue belt, but yeah.
It is a lot of blue belt, but I guarantee you I've been building red belt for a while, and every bit of red belt is going to turn blue.
Oh, yeah, if you actually convert it all, then yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, plus you got new production coming through as well, so yeah. Okay, so yeah, flipped. We misflipped. That's alright. Yeah, Mojo got the pistol on the floor. The important stuff. Yeah. And this is in dev mode because we have the access to the extra 2 tabs, 3 tabs, whatever.
Presumably the pistol is a drooping thing.
Probably.
Even though we did... Actually, it was even before you came along.
It was. Yeah, pistols were way...
as in
yeah.
Colonel Will Me and Exterminator was doing it first.
Yeah.
We used to just litter the base with pistols.
And back then you didn't have a filtered decon to clean up stuff from the floor, did you?
No.
No. So you'd have to either find the individual pistols and mark them for decon, or pick them up and put them in a trash slot manually because there was no auto trash.
No, it used to just be hot potato with them.
Yeah. Like, Troopin has made a career out of taking the Factorio memes and making them into a video. Taking the best and the worst of Factorio and turning it into a very short video. I don't know about the RGB lights.
Yeah. It's debatable.
Special generator around and made a lot of them. Are we talking about pistols or pipes still? I don't generally cross-contaminate pipes. But pistols, yeah, I made a fair share of pistols. It's why we have Bilbo's mod now. So that way, when you die due to your own fault, or you were standing too close to me at the time, at least I re-equip you with new weapons, new ammo, and hopefully it's an upgrade to what you had previously. Yeah. I don't know about the RGB.
It's questionable.
Oh, hang on. I wonder if you can... So you can hook up a light to a wire and have a wire conditioner turn it on and off. So I wonder how many people are going to have production lines where, like these undergrounds right here, are going to have 2 lights beside them, a red one and a green one. And it's going to be green if the belt's full and red if the belt's not full.
I can see that coming.
Oh my god.
I mean, I've seen people put lights on every power pole on a railway line, and then it lights up with the signals, so as the train goes past, it goes red.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. There's a map view option for that.
Yes, there is.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see red and blue lights flickering in the future. Wonder if that means the game has to put in an epilepsy warning now. More options is rarely a bad thing. No. No, you misunderstand the internet. Odd, crazy stuff. More options for the internet is often a bad thing. Often. Yeah,
The illusion of choice.
Clonan has learnt, don't leave on the tags for the train stations. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think he got sick of us going through and dissecting things left in images. So yeah, Energy will have to add a note about the flipped chem plates. Huh. Playing around and editing the stream later. Pelago, how you doing? Alright, I need to go kill some Russians. I was gonna say Nazis, but it's a game where I'm not killing Nazis for a change. Yeah, I don't know how I feel.
It looked like it was set in World War One.
It is set World War One. It's the Czechs getting out of Russia after the end of World War One.
That explains it.
But speaking of Nazis, it looks like you're gonna get Sassy to install Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Isn't that the crap one?
That is the crap one with the 2 daughters that's multiplayer, but that's why I've never played it, because it's multiplayer.
I don't think it was actually multiplayer, but yeah, it's the crap one.
It's not...
Even the one that I have is... Where is it? New Order.
New Order's not bad.
That was like the original one.
I don't know.
Of that series, I believe. And yeah, it was just irritating, that stupid woman that kept coming back.
Oh, yeah.
And the contrived serendipity and...
So you have Wolfenstein: The New Order, then you have Old Blood, and then you have New Colossus.
New Colossus.
Return to Castle Wolfenstein, maybe that was part of the new series as well? Like, we can see when I played them.
Return to Castle Wolfenstein was the Quake 3...
Yeah, it was a remake, yeah.
But that was the original of the non-2.5D. So what I mean by the new ones is the modern ones.
The modern ones, yeah.
The,
so New Order is the first of the modern ones. And then Old Blood, and then New Colossus. And then there's Young Blood on top of that, which is his daughters.
And they're all crap.
No, actually, I enjoyed them. They have a good single-player campaign, and that's what I enjoyed. It's like playing Duke Nukem.
Just the story was a little too... Or even in that first one, the story was too contrived, and it just went downhill from there.
It is what it is. It's a FPS with a storyline. Okay, they're rare. They're very, very rare.
They are rare.
Wolfenstein and Duke Nukem. All right. Supposedly, some Call of Duty has some sort of storyline in there, but everybody complains the campaign's too short. And for what money they want for it, pass.
The Modern Warfare's had a storyline. It wasn't amazing, but it was a thing. The Black Ops and World at War had a much better storyline.
Okay. No,
through single player.
I last Call of Duty I played and enjoyed. So I played COD 2, and then I played 4.
Yep, that's Modern Warfare. Where you get to do the AC-130, I think it is, bombing everything. You know, the turret mission, the classic turret mission. It was a staple of the 2000s. Started by Half-Life.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 dedicated server. Okay, turns out I don't have Call of Duty on this computer at all. So I guess I had a retail CD version, not part of Steam.
Yes, Modern Warfare 2, I think. Or do I have them here? Oh, I have Modern Warfare 2.
I played COD 2.
3.
I played 2. Then I played 4. And then I haven't gone back and touched it since.
Well, 4 was Modern Warfare. 3 was
Did
Xbox only.
4 not have single player?
It did.
I don't remember the single player at all.
I don't either because it was pretty unremarkable. It
Okay.
was pretty generic, the Modern Warfare ones.
So
As I say, the World at War campaign was pretty good.
okay, yeah, well, maybe in the future, but yeah, I normally play a first-person shooter, and I like Duke Nukem style. I like, lots of enemies that have low hit points that I get to fire many guns at, and they die. That's pretty much all I'm looking for. I'm looking for a stress relief with many weapons and many things that go boom.
So kind of like a Warframe.
Yeah, no, not Warframe. Warframe's far too fast. Far too fast. There's far too much. I've seen you stream it. There's far too much jumping and flipping and spinning and no.
And they've also figured out a few speed boosts that the average player doesn't seem to know.
Yeah, no, pass.
I'm not even that good at moving in that game.
No, pass.
It comes from. It just happens to come from that Twitch shooter era of Quake 3. The hyperactive, insane.
Yeah, pass. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like Sassy's gonna play Youngblood with me, which is
I'm
funny.
pretty sure I haven't streamed that game since like 2019.
Probably.
Because the community is absolute cancer.
But I bought Youngblood, and I bought it through Humble, and I didn't realize it gave me a key for the Unity store, I want to say.
Unity store.
Which I believe is now shut down, and all the keys have in theory been migrated across to Steam. So I need to do that first. And then store. And then Youngblood has a deluxe version. And if you own the deluxe version, only if you own the deluxe version, or you upgrade to the deluxe version, deluxe version, read more. It gets you a buddy pass, which means a friend can play with you by only one of you owning a copy. For a single-player game that mainly revolves around multiplayer. Yeah. It's not part of the stock version. You have to buy the deluxe version to get that feature. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, I need to find out whether I have the version to, and what it upgrades to and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I'm going to go back to riding my train and hopefully keeping the checks alive.
And hopefully not stumbling into machine guns again and having them stand there in front of the machine gun.
I told them to shoot people.
That's just a scratch.
It's not my fault that they decided to stand there, okay? That was on them. Oh, I can
I'm listening. Moving out.
run the howitzer?
Yes, as you wish.
Can we target? No, not quite. Can I move the howitzer? No. Can I fire the howitzer because I feel like it?
Oh, it's the twins with the
Here's the twins one.
Yeah, and they got like stealth suits and things.
Yeah. And it's technically multiplayer. It just doesn't play. It's technically single player, but it doesn't play well as single player. So deluxe is almost twice the cost. So it's not really cheaper for multiplayer. And look, deluxe is almost twice the price. But like I said, I already have. There is an upgrade path. There is an upgrade path. It's $20 upgrade path normally. To just buy just that one DLC compared to $25 for the base game. So yeah, you're not really saving any money anyway. In fact, if you bought the base game at $25 and then bought the upgrade for $20, you're up for $35. Whereas the deluxe would have just cost you $40 to buy outright in the first place. Yeah, my point stands. So I've got to go find Unity login details to then get my key to transfer across. Bethesda.net. So it's a Bethesda whatever Unity store. I have no idea. there's a chance that maybe they've just upgraded everybody to the deluxe version, because that's happened more than once when people have shut down stalls, etc., and just gone, fuck it, everybody gets an upgrade. So we pacify the masses. So yeah, I gotta work that out, and then try and find time to get Sassy to come down here and play. All I need to do is in the outside temperature to get to like 42 degrees, and Kid's not to be here, and then she's guaranteed to come down and stream with me, because it's too hot to not stream.
I'm
Ready.
not actually sure what's worse right now.
But
The 40 degrees that you have, or the 20 degrees that I have with like 100% humidity.
probably what you have.
Yeah, it's 99% right now.
Yeah, that'd be horrible, and it takes an air conditioner ages to bring down that moisture levels. Ages.
Oh yeah, particularly if you've got a house that has the ceiling level of a colander.
Yeah. So yeah. Because the studio is so airtight, it's never bad down here. Like if I turn on the air conditioner, it brings down the temperature in a couple of minutes. It seems bad, Alfred. You okay? Gravely injured. -2 health per hour. If health gets above 45%. You're at 50! But I think the yellow hit points are fake ones. Yeah. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna get back to this. Thank you, mate. I will chat to you when I chat to you next week.
Yep.
For more Friday facts and what the hell's Twitch broken. Oh, sorry, added feature-wise this week.
As always.
Well, I'm sure you got the invite to stream the Game Awards, right?
Probably. I just didn't notice.
And that was right at the top of your list of things that you had to do this week. You know, stream the Game Awards. Yep. Which was mass email to every partner to make you feel unique. And then you had to go into a form, fill in all your details, tell them what special events you're going to plan for the simulcasting of the Game Awards. Oh, and you got access to artwork. That's right. Special invite-only artwork. Normally referred to as a press kit. Which I'm pretty sure had emailed to me from a PR agency. For covering on YouTube. Yep. Because it's a press kit. It's free. They email them to everybody. Yep. Alright. I'll catch you later, mate.
See ya.
Thanks. Bye.